Hey, good morning. Thanks for tuning in to Conquer the Hosses. Today we're going to talk a little bit about ADA mats. And I started refreshing myself over the weekend with the code on the Americans with Disability Acts, ADA. And it hasn't changed too much since 2010. A couple little things. Let me rephrase that. I don't think it's changed at all. These mats are always tricky to put in. Let's talk about that. The purpose of these mats are to give traction before you enter traffic. They are to aware a blind person that they're coming into a crosswalk where there's traffic. They are different colored for colorblind people, visual impaired. So a couple different reasons are there. As far as ice buildup, they have truncated domes that is supposed to give you some traction so you don't slip into the intersection. It's just trying to be a safety factor. So from side to side, you're supposed to be level. They allow you up to 2%. This one that was already installed is almost dead on, 0.25% side to side. You're supposed to be 2% this way, front to back. You can see we are well over that. Okay, and I get why they did that. They're trying to make a nice transition from sidewalk to street. It makes perfect sense to me. However, I believe that would fail. And we're going to fail over here as well. So I'm not picking on anybody by any means. So every situation's a little bit different. So this should come in more level and then up, which I think you're creating a hazard, and they're trying to incorporate this sidewalk right here. So I think they did the best they could with the situation. So that's what it's, oh, I'm sorry, right about there. It's hard to hold right at 2%. Okay, so that should be down about an inch in the back, but from the curb. So to get that down 4 inches, you can see we're really adding some steepness to the sidewalk. So over here, where we're working, every intersection is just a little bit different. We have two sidewalks coming together. These mats are supposed to be pointing to each other. Now, if we point it to that one, now this comes way back here. And what does that do to that sidewalk? So the best scenario I come up with is I added to it because our curb cut is over here. So if you're walking down and you're feeling for that wedge, now you find it, you step on the mat, now you know you're into traffic, but the truncated domes don't point to each other. I didn't want the mat up here and somebody miss it and that become a problem. We can definitely be our 2% slope here. Let's head over to this one. Mixers here, guys are getting ready. We had a little bit of a rain delay this morning. So same thing here. We have this mat here is going to go from curb cut to curb cut, angling that way. This will all be within our 2% tolerance factor. Over here, different story. If we come in our 2%, we're gonna do what they did over there. At 2%, you can see how low we're going to be. Going the wrong way though. So that's our 2%. And now we're adding a lot of climb You can see how high we have to get from the bottom of my level to the top of the form. That would be about an 18, 19%, 20% elevation climb, which definitely would not be in code. So we're going to do elevation climb before the mat, during the mat, and then after the mat. We're going to do the best we can. We have to get from sidewalk there, and we ripped out 2 pads to get back. Now we're as down as far as we can. We have buried utilities. We cannot go any lower. So that's why I'm putting an emphasis on this. You just got to do the best you can and hope that inspector understands. Okay, I'll show you putting these in and as soon as we get there. Steve got 10 yards. That should get probably, I don't know, might do it all. Okay, let's get pouring. Finally underway pouring. What I did last minute, I came back about 4 feet and we set 2 pins at 2.5% climb to the curb. Now when we put the concrete in, we know we're just a little bit high, and I'll set the mats in there as soon as it tightens up just a little bit. That curb box is set perfect with our 2.5%. I'm on traffic detail here. It is a busy road. So we have a 5-foot sidewalk coming around there, so we put marks at 5 foot off of the curb. Flying groover. Let's see how we do. I just follow. We don't use this all the time, but sure does come in handy. Let's head over there. Let me get this in here real quick before it gets hard.
Go. Oh, I'm not seeing this device.
I hit that sign behind me. That doesn't look very good. We'll get it.
Go. It's a curve.
The curve cut.
Oh my.
Up a slope, around a bend. Okay, Timmy. That's it. So I went ahead and did my cross cuts with this. I think they look pretty good. That way it's wet out there and they're already done. Now I'm going to come over here. I think what I'll do, I don't think straight. I'll give him a little turn. What do you think, Tim? Give him a little turn?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hitting back here. Yeah. All right. That one will have to wait. What do you think? Turn this one as well. Okay. I'll do 2 pulls on that. Okay. I think the rest will do with a board. There we go. There's back up to where I started. Let's go look at how that turned out. Everything's cleaned up. Now we're just waiting for it to get tighter. Run a broom across it. 30 tools to the wheelbarrow. Clean up. Concrete's been on the ground for about an hour 15. All the tool cuts are in, edged, just rubbing up the surface. Nice flat float. Making sure all the joints are nice and clean and opened. A lot of times we'll do a finished edge mark. Not in this case. This gets broomed all the way to the edge. We're matching what is already in the plan. So we wipe those out. Re-edge the perimeter. And we're ready for a broom. Okay, this wind is not helping. Concrete's nice and wet. Not wet, but still pretty soft. We're getting all kinds of debris in it. So we want to get these going here. If rain comes in and we have to cover this, we'll never get these things stamped in. So these have these lugs on the back. When you push them into the concrete, they hold them in there. So my corner, I did a 6-inch edger. These should be 6 inches back from traffic. Now we do have a curb here, but we always go about 6 inches back before I press it down. I'll get them lined up. And we cut another piece to get us up to that. I'm going to bring this all ahead a little bit. Fit it just so. You can see how soft the concrete is. That gives me the ability to move it around, get it all lined up. Just over 6. I mean, just under 6, just over 6. The majority of it is 6. So that's what I was talking about. I'd like those to be pointing towards each other, but we have this walk, we have this walk. Yeah. So now, we have a tamper sometimes. When we're doing stamp work, we can bring that along and push these down. And I like concrete underneath these. When you see them all broken, some guys maybe just pour the edges, set these in and leave big voids under there. Then when a vehicle runs over it, they crack. So make sure you get concrete all the way underneath it. The mat, ideally in a perfect world, level from side to side, 2% slope front to back. In a perfect world. Max slope on a sidewalk approaching it is 5%. 1 in 20. If you're talking about a ramp, you can go to 1 to 12. For every 1 inch of climb, 12-inch run is a ramp. That's what I'm looking for. Just standing back, eyeing it up, making sure I don't want to make any changes. Now with that bulge, just let that there for a minute. Concrete tighten up, everything settle in. Plastic on until you're done finishing. That way when the concrete comes out like that, it's no big deal. We want them to look good when we walk away. Make sure your corners are down, edges are down, nice and flush transition. You don't want less than a 1/4 inch bump. If it's more than a 1/4 inch, you can blend it up to a 1/2 inch. Okay. So we'll let that one sit. Let's jump on over here. We have this one to get in, then we'll do that one, next pour. Rain's due at 1. Mats are all cut and ready to go. Edger 6 inches back, base of curb cut. See how they go in nice and easy. Boy, is it windy out here.
I gotta take about 5 inches off of that. Is that alright?
Can you slide it? Cut your splice. Just cut your splice. If you just hurry, it wouldn't take very long. Just pull it apart, cut. Just grab a screw gun, take them out, and cut it. I just wanted to get it down out of that. Okay. Needs to go back just a bump. There we go. Okay, we're about 6 in the majority of it. Hey Meta, stop recording. Okay, concrete's all broomed. These came halfway off. If they didn't come off at all, I'd probably leave them on. But I wanted to clean up that edge and right in here. I just want to hit those edges a little bit. Thanks. A nice damp sponge. Looks better than leaving it like that, right? That versus that. When the inspector drives past, we want him to keep going. Showing the whole corner. I think it just makes it look that much better. Okay. Would that take about 30 seconds? Okay. There's your ADA mat. Level, corner to corner, 2%, and then we're under 5% with a landing behind it. So this one is our best one. These other ones are gonna be, yeah, a little questionable. So there we are, come down, and what we did, we just benched this off. It might be hard to see in the video, but tried to keep a slight climb. I know I'm over 2%, but you can see that we have to get up to there. So in comments, I would love to hear from an inspector, a code enforcement, be quiet here in a second, code enforcement agent of some kind. What's acceptable here? What should you do so my viewers, I know, trying to do your best, but it's a judgment call out here sometimes of what to do. So this is what we're doing. Bring you up to speed. Right at the bottom of the wedge, ADA mat. Bottom of the wedge, ADA mat. I kept an average of 6 back, like 6.5, 6, 4. I could have tweaked it a little bit more, but I kind of like, now if, you know, I'm sending them that way. This is, I'm trying to find a happy medium work in there. So concrete's nice and soft, but not too soft. It'll hold the mats down. If you put them in too soon, they kind of float and wander around. I know I have concrete underneath everywhere. Here's what they look like when we're done. We try and get cuts off of the corners. Probably could have put one right there to that water shut off, but we wanted to keep one marking the top of the wing. And you catch what you can. So that's it. You can see we pieced it together nice and flush. Show you this other one while I'm at it, and then I'll probably go ahead and sign off for today. All that sidewalk is almost ready to broom. Here's the other mat. So we're missing, we need 5 feet behind the mat to make the turn. But a wheelchair can come down this and turn, a walker. What am I going to do? The pier's there, right? A concrete guy can only do so much. Knock the pier down, no. Okay. And that's our slope there. Okay, we'll get this done. I'll show you real quick when we're done. That's my take on an ADA map. This on video as I'm leaving.
I don't know if you like my jokes or not. I don't think so.
Okay, we are perfect side to side. Now, what I'm almost afraid to show you. Concrete's still wet. We're at 5.5% climb from the street. We're supposed to be 2%. But I'm trying to make a happy medium. and you can see we're 13%. So if we drop this down 2% and make that 15, you know what I mean? We're just trying to make it flow the best you can. And I think we accomplished that. Okay. That's it. Hey everybody, in closing out this video, I thought of another way I could go over the criteria for putting in an ADA mat. So let's turn and look at a project that we just finished up today. I was going to video it, but we were in too much of a hurry to get the project done to meet a deadline for closing. The camera just wasn't working. I was missing all kinds of footage, real spotty, and plus they were hauling topsoil right behind us. It was quite noisy. So we decided to just put the camera away for 3 days while we did this project. But let me go over a couple things to help explain about the ADA mats. So here's the project that we did. It was a real long driveway, street walk, coming up here to a driveway that goes up to the street and another governor's driveway that goes around to the street. The sidewalk comes all the way up around, and on this corner, we have to do 2 more ADA mats. Let me just pull this up a little bit, get me out of the picture, and it should be a good shot right about here. So I met with the inspector today, and he's probably the most knowledgeable inspector that I've talked to yet. He had all the answers to my questions. So here is the ADA mat that we need to put in place. Now the street has about 9% slope. So what you have to do, up here we have an ADA mat with 0 slope on the road. So this was easy to put in. Down here, what we're allowed to do, and we did not get this information on the other job, and they gave us stricter guidelines, and nothing really worked, but nothing was said. So here we go. 3 numbers that you want to remember. Your mat can have 2% cross slope from side to side, unless the road that it abuts has greater slope. Then you match the road to the mat. Whatever the road is, the mat matches that. Secondly, the next number you need to remember is 8.3% max. From back to front or front to back, you're allowed up to 8.3%. Over here, there needs to be a 5-foot area for a wheelchair to turn. This cannot be greater than 2%. Back to front, front to back, or diagonal. All this has to be 2%. So what we had to do, we had to raise this corner up. We had to do a level on a pencil line with a smart level and show 2%. And then we showed 2% coming across here. And the third number is 5% leaving this 5x5 area. So in here is a chalk line with 5% climb on it for 15 feet, going right up to there. Those are the 3 numbers you need to remember. Area coming to the wheelchair ramp and leaving cannot be greater than 5%. Behind the mat, 2%. The mat itself cannot be greater than 8.3. Side to side, 2%. Unless you're abutting the street. So remember those 3 different percentages. 2%, 5%, 8.3%. If you follow those guidelines, PennDOT here in PA sets those guidelines based on the roads that they get liquid fuel money on from the state. So if they don't fall under that criteria, then that's when inspectors come in and make you redo it. Everything is set up for a wheelchair or a walker. That's why they want those level areas, approaches, and exiting. That's about it. I hope it's helpful. Today's experience with that, not building inspector, ADA sidewalk inspector, was very helpful. I asked him if I could video it and post him on the channel because he explained it much better than I did, but he said nope, he didn't want to be videoed. So he said I could use all of his information on my channel. So back to concrete tomorrow. Thanks for watching Conquer with Bosses.